You ever buy something thinking it's gonna be your peaceful escape from the world and then it turns into a full-blown war with a guy who thinks he's the sheriff of some imaginary town? Yeah, that was my cabin on the lake. I bought it to get away from people. Ironically, that's what got me in trouble. So let me set the scene. It's late 2022, I've been working remote, grinding non-stop, borderline losing my mind. I wanted out, at least on the weekends. I didn't need fancy, just something quiet. I find this A-frame cabin tucked up in the hills of northern Georgia, overlooking a glass-steel lake, trees all around. A little rough inside, sure, but I like a project. The kind of place that smells like pine and possibility. I closed in February, and the first weekend I spent up there. Man, I felt like I could breathe for the first time in years. But the second weekend, that's when I met him. Knock at the door loud. I open it and there's this dude, khakis, polo shirt tucked into his waistband like he's off-duty mall security. Name's Trent Carver, he says, all puffed up. I'm the HOA president for the area. Except, I didn't know there even was an HOA. He hands me a manila envelope welcome packet, he calls it. Inside, a list of bylaws I've supposedly agreed to, and an invoice. $875. Back dues. 3 years worth. I blink at him and say, I just bought the place last month. And he goes, all smug, the property owes it, not the owner. Then smiles like he just dropped some Lego bombshell. So I check the packet more closely, and everything smells off. The logo looks like it was made in Microsoft Paint. There's no mailing address, just a Gmail. I send him a polite email asking for some verification. You know what I get back? One line, we'll see about that. That's when things start going sideways. Every time I drive up, new violation notices stuck to the door. Overgrown brush. Noise complaints. Unapproved flag display. I'm there alone most weekends, mind you. Sometimes I don't even turn music on. The guy's clearly watching the place, waiting for me. My buddy Jeremy jokes maybe he's hiding in the woods with binoculars. I install cameras not because I'm scared, just because. Something felt off. And man, I'm glad I did. Memorial Day weekend, I invite a few friends up. We grill, drink a little, just chill. Around 10, boom, power goes out. Jeremy goes to check the fuse box. Comes back pale. Dude, he says, there's a guy back there. I pull up the live feed on my phone and there he is. Trent. Flashlight in one hand, screwdriver in the other. Messing with my breaker. We call out to him. He both literally jumps the fence and disappears into the woods. Like we caught a raccoon, not a grown man. We call the sheriff, file a report. But unless I want to press charges, they say it's a civil matter. Next week, I get a fine. $250 for unauthorized gathering. Another threat of a lien. I ignore it. That's when things escalate. A few weeks later, I'm out of town work trip. I get an alert from the cabin security app, motion detected, 2:17 a.m. I open the feed. And I swear, my blood ran cold. Trent is inside my cabin. He's just walking around, like it's his. Opens the fridge, touches my mail, sits on my damn couch. I call the sheriff again. This time, they don't brush me off. They arrest him for trespassing and theft. Turns out he took my dad's old watch. That one hit me hard. But that wasn't even the real twist. Because when they ran his items out, Trent Carver doesn't exist. His real name's Paul Fletcher. And Paul Fletcher. He's got a record. 2 priors for fraud, 1 for pretending to run a fake HOA in Arizona. Same playbook. He printed fake letters, made up rules, collected dues from terrified retirees, threatened liens he had no authority to file. The house he claimed was his. Wasn't. It belonged to an LLC that had sold it 6 months before. He'd been squatting. So yeah, this guy wasn't just annoying. He was running a con. Suddenly, I wasn't alone. Once the news hit, other cabin owners came forward. A woman down the road had paid him $1,100 cash after he told her porch swing violated Visual Uniformity Code. Another guy said Trent told him he'd lose lake access if he didn't remove his satellite dish. All of it completely fake. He'd built this imaginary authority and bullied everyone into playing along. What killed me? He was so convincing. He had printed stationery, an HOA enforcement email address, even a voicemail message that sounded official. He made everyone doubt themselves. And once people doubt themselves, they start complying. Even when nothing makes sense. The sheriff charged him with trespassing, fraud, and identity theft. But here's the kicker: the county looked into it, and there was no legal HOA. The original one. Dissolved years ago. Paul just dug up the old paperwork and resurrected it like Frankenstein. And I started wondering how many other neighborhoods has this guy hit. How many people got bullied into handing over cash because someone barked about bylaws. After that, things quieted down. I fixed up the cabin, got the locks changed, upgraded the security system. But I never quite got the peace back. Every creak of the floorboards makes me wonder if someone's outside. And not because I'm scared, but because I trusted that if something went wrong, someone official would handle it. Instead, they almost didn't. If I hadn't had cameras, if I hadn't pushed for real charges, Paul would have walked away and done it again somewhere else. And here's the thing: didn't just try to steal money. He tried to steal my space. My safety. My right to be left alone. And that's what pissed me off most. I bought that cabin to get away from noise, from people telling me what to do. And somehow, I ended up fighting for my right to just exist in peace. You know what gets me? The guy looked like authority. He sounded like it. He knew the language, had the forms. And in America, sometimes that's all it takes. People follow confidence more than credentials. Especially if the paper has a logo. So yeah, maybe I went a little scorched earth. I posted everything. The footage, the fake invoices, his arrest record. I made sure anyone within 50 miles knew who Paul Fletcher really was. A few people told me that was excessive. But I disagree. Because people like him, they thrive in silence. In confusion. They count on good folks shrugging and paying the fee just to avoid the hassle. They don't expect someone like me quiet, keeps to himself to start documenting, calling lawyers, pushing charges. They think kindness is weakness. They don't realize it's restraint. So next time someone shows up with a clipboard and a badge they printed at Kinko's, ask questions. Because not everyone who acts like they're in charge actually is. And if someone ever tries to fake their way into your life, then just shut the door. Expose them. Loudly. What do you think? Was I right to go nuclear? Or should I have just let the guy rot in court quietly and moved on? Drop your thoughts below. I have a feeling this one's gonna stir the pot.